as the favorites in a match that would be the biggest upset I feel like we've seen at an international tournament if FPX was able to pull it off. And instantly trying to up the pace, as BabyBay was talking about, set the tempo early, take grasp of the match.
It was that early paranoia just through the choke point, but now it's all slowed down once more. Bit of mid-exploration for the pistol round. FPX grouped up.
And
even with that A-split.
Even with the double smoke comp, Brent, not putting a smoke down in mid there. Yeah. Not giving the idea that they're going for the A-split. Jorgamo almost caught off. Catching it.
Quite a bit of damage, actually, off of that one. Berlin lucky to be alive, but they're going to be getting the first section of the A site. It's going to be theirs.
What a lovely
now the Nano Swarms. Boostio still anchoring towards the back. No one really swinging to deal with them. They just can't. Too many Nano Swarms at the floor, at the feet, yet still FPX coming up with the goods. 2 kills their way. Plenty of damage done to the players, though. They are quite weak, and there's a shock dart. Finishing off Ayang. Still close to the corner, Lysor. Oh, they're not going to expect this one. Still up close, onto the heaven angle. Jorgamo does not win his fight out. Demon 1 brought down. And FPX open us up with a pistol round win.
And you're instantly seeing the biggest advantage to me, Brent, that FPX have compared to the last time we saw them at an international tournament. They've made a roster upgrade, and this guy has been the best player in the most recent tournaments that FPX has been playing in. Lysor has instantly rejuvenated the team and provided an upgrade in terms of the fragging power. Stick him on the Killjoy. He's allowed them to have flexibility between the double smokes and double initiator comps that FPX never used to have before. He's a danger. He really is.
BG on the back foot now off that. We'll see a slow beginning for you. FPX, double smokes comp, you need to be playing the map, the attack side, quite cautiously. You can see the star placed down. It's a recall. Hoping to take the angle, Boostio. Reactions far too good, though. Opening pick going their way.
And that's put a bit of fear into FPX as well. Drone is being used to clear out mid, expecting them to pivot away from B main. But it's just the brakes getting pumped here. Boostio's going to look for another one off the back of the drone clearing a bunch of space. Looking to see if he can find a duel over towards tiles. It looks like this is just going to be a regroup and B-pop called by Berlin posthumously.
Yeah, fully grouped up there. It's only going to be Ethan receiving this one. The knife earlier was broken into B main, and you can see him just floating around. Doesn't actually have any util to stop this one. Finally, the hit's coming through. Couple of stray bullets on the classic, not enough to do too much more. Door being closed. Boostio hoping to catch a cheeky timing. Denied with the door. The side's going to be gained for FPX. They don't have any B main control. Could play an important part in this one. Fully grouped up onto the side.
But the weaponry is just so low. It's only Boostio with a Sheriff. 4v5, FPX should still have an advantage.
Should have an advantage indeed. There we go. You call the first one onto Ethan through lane. It's a triple phase. Lysor falls. The TP disengage all around, and it's just Calm left. He will fall. So 3 players surviving. Economy relatively healthy there for FPX. You can bring this one into the 3rd round, maybe get a decent bonus going.
Yeah, the weaponry is looking strong for them. I've been watching some of the FPX games, and their economy management is sometimes a little all over. I mean, even here, it looks like Ucore is going to try and get a Vandal into this round, despite the fact that he wouldn't have money to be able to buy up in the next. But, you know, sometimes those kind of risks are worth going for. Yeah, he's gone back over to the Bulldog here, so taking it a little more safely. EG, on the other hand, look like they're trying to set Demon 1 up, take early duels across B.
It's a heavy stack over there. It's the recalled star, at least the star placed down prior. Here's the benefit of some of these double smoke comps as well. One towards Cat, one towards mid. You can really just expend all of them early and not worry about it as much. Alarm bot at your feet, Berlin. Didn't really seem to be aware of the cause.
And FPX are a team that are going to force aim duels quite a lot. Their players haven't been in the most incredible form recently, but Lysor's always been hot. He backs away just before taking that duel against Demon 1.
Still holding the space.
And this is going to get set up for an A-split here, where Jorgamo is in the position to ruin it or go down and leave A completely undefended. He's only going to take a duel, though, against Nisha, essentially.
Plenty of noise being made, though. Com spraying him down as they're just running it down all the way through, but Jorgamo, well, he stays alive here into A main, holding this space as well. FPX make a call to try and flip the map, but they've stopped themselves just ever so slightly. The smoke's really just stopping it. Now they need to work out what they want to do. 40 seconds remaining. They do have some time to work with, but it's going to be running short in just a moment. Demon 1 still seeking to contain. You can see him just watching that angle deep.
30 seconds
into
left.
Mid. They know the potential positionings here. Demon One will be able to see them crossing. Yeah, we can hear it as well. Dash active, brought down.
Great shot.
Wonderful stuff from Ayang. Set the Seekers on them as well. It's going to be good positioning, at least noted. Do they know Boostio's there? Slight misstep with the flash. There's only 12 seconds left. They don't get onto the side. It's Boostio who denies them that chance.
You can see what FPX were going for. The flash from Ayang would have been great there to push Boostio off the line and make them advantaged in the duel. But they just couldn't quite get it. The flash, I think, connecting with the wall and just kind of getting tangled up there in the architecture. Strange round, but that's what you're going to get from FPX, I think. They really like to mess with expectations.
New beginning here, a bit even when it comes to the rifles on either side. Again, pretty heavy emphasis being placed. Just a one-way smoke for Jorgamo.
But look at how much of an annoyance this star is down at the feet of Demon One and Jorgamo here. And this is the freedom that you have with the Astra. It's not that unusual of a composition. It might seem odd, but it's kind of similar to the Viper Sky compositions that we've seen some of the Americas teams run, like Cloud9 and Loud, I believe, at one point.
Yeah.
But the Astra utility can be used in more, varied ways. A flash to clear out wide.
Let's go deep. Jorgamo's not going to be playing there, though. Already moved from that position, still a slight jiggle, and really down to the minute mark, there hasn't really been much else movement. It's a reclearance, it's caught by EG with a paranoia, sets him up, tagging onto Ayang, but it doesn't matter. Demon One still wins his fight out, left down to 9 health. What's the response? Not too much else, still contact plays here, working themselves up towards Cat, FPX. Going for the 2-2 split, but EG still have players anchoring down, locking it down, rooted in place almost. There's a KO nade pushing him even further away. Time is really running short, and there is chaos in the mix. Lysor through the smoke. What kind of timing do you really want to take here? Waiting for the stars to be dropped down. There it is in front of them, but Jorgamo contained. Still brought down. Ethan is there with a trade. At the backside of Jenny, Spike's out in the open with 23 seconds left, looking for information, buying time. It's a 3-2-1 face. And EG, they've got the discipline for it.
Great containment by EG there. I think they worked out very nicely. They had a three-piece crossfire that was ready to melt any of the players that came through. Despite the player at Switch getting overwhelmed, Jorgamo's there. And this position of box is so nice. Not only does he hold that smoke over by Switch, but also he can swing at any point of Ethan or Demon One's contact. You can tell that EG have really put the effort into refining these setups. And now Operator online for Demon One. They've won enough rounds, despite the fact that Demon One's not, up at the top of the scoreboard, for him to start getting a bit more aggressive and peek out.
Game plan for FPX, though, seems to be just brute force, overwhelming with the half-bite. Stingers, Sheriffs, fully grouped up, aren't they? Smoke dropped down off of that one portion of utility, and there's a lockdown committed by FPX.
On an eco round as well.
Yeah, that's why that's a bit unusual. And it has just essentially notified EG that they are going to be hitting this site. With Demon One holding that space still over towards B. Here's a paranoia sent flying 1-for-1, and still Ethan will collect. Bringing down one of the players. Flash also just pushing it back through the choke point. No one can really get into this. Beautiful dart. The supplementary utility just bogs them down.
Bit of an overinvestment there from FPX. Not sure why the lockdown was used in a round where you have such an economical disadvantage. Oh, that's the guy I've been playing with recently.
One enemy remaining.
Very nice utility defensively there from EG, but dealt with, I think, far too easily. We also saw a 0 point from Ethan that took away Yukor's Blade Storm right as he popped it. So that's a Jet ultimate that was supposed to be comboed in there with the lockdown.
No, Demon One's got the off.
It's just a flash recon play, I think, here. Oh, it's gonna have a Hunter's Fury
right behind it, yep. As soon as the dart was broken, that's the trigger. Com's consistent with it, lets it loose. Up in mid, Demon One. Of course he's gonna be finding it, but does he expect that? Goal! There's no shot!
It's just filthy!
Slight minor adjustment, another day in the office for Demon One. Listen, he had a bit of a rough beginning to the map, but okay, he's warming up.
And think about how perfectly timed this investment of ultimates and in general just to play with the op going aggressive and the Hunter's Fury being used to halt this economy. FPX had just got a buy up. They're in a 4v5 instantly off the back of Com's play, and Demon One is picking apart the rest of FPX with ease. This is what EG did so well on their run towards Tokyo. They took one advantage and spiraled it into many. They win a pistol round, then they win a bonus, then they have ults up to be able to snowball. In terms of being able to set up these snowball moments, I don't think there's a team doing it better other than Fnatic. And even then, it's fairly dead even between the two.
A really good understanding of that. Just making sure that they can keep using the ultimates, keep them rolling. A lot of teams, you know, they think to save the Hunter's Fury, for example, for a Killjoy lockdown that might be coming. I mean, Lysol's nowhere near.
Well,
so that's not really a
gave
problem
him
for
a
them.
very simple choice in
but I will
the
say,
prior round.
Exactly, I will say that EG still, even when that's on the board, they don't really care. They will still use your ultimates to try and snowball the rounds and the economic advantage. Just force the time out of FPX.
And FPX have a lot to consider here. You know, attack side on this map, it's going to be a little difficult. But when you take a step back, FPX will have been extremely happy with the map vetoes. In terms of one area where they could have an opportunity to upset in this game, it's getting Ascent and Pearl in there. They have a combined 74% win rate on these two maps across their lifespan, which is extraordinarily good. I mean, Ascent in particular, they've only ever lost twice to Bilibili Gaming. So, you know, they are not a bad team on this map. It's been causing the Chinese teams a lot of issues, and EG chose not to get rid of their permaban Haven, or rather, chose not to pick FPX's permaban Haven, and instead get rid of it themselves. EG just very confident that they could play the maps that FPX are good at and beat them on it through, you know, just outclassing them.
Yeah. Which is a reasonable expectation, I would say. You know, EG finishing second in Tokyo. Very deep run as well. Still a lot of naysayers as well that are doubting this team, and they want to see the consistency with those results. But, I mean,
well, let's be
for
real,
my
it has
liking,
to be clean. This group has to be clean.
It does have to be clean. It should be a slam dunk for EG in this group in terms of them being favorites. But new beginning to the round. Again, it's FPX on the weaker buy. Similar game plan to what we saw last time on the half buy, only this time down towards Cat. Late lurk from one of the players. The Trailblazer clears out towards it. Corm is out in the open. Misstep there. Was not expecting these players to be so fast up onto that angle. Smoke down, dropping it. Jorgamoto reposition, updraft to re-clear, and a flash is really quite nice. FPX coming straight into it. Great ideas of how they wanted to clear out the site there.
Specifically the updraft play and swinging through it, really good coordination. And EG caught off by the tempo, as you were saying.
That's just okay.
Crucio caught by the spam, and suddenly, as quickly as the Seeker round started, it is over.
It's done just like that.
These are the moments where the Chinese teams could definitely catch you off guard. They play it at such a different tempo. You can see that Com was expecting to have that time to be able to throw a very well-set recon dart up into tree, and he was just rushed.
Yeah, overwhelmed. Demon 1 now being hunted down for that operator in his hands. They'd love to remove it, missing the shot, but his position is known now. They are quickly approaching his location, but this is really just going to be a firing range for him. He just needs to try and survive. There's a pull at his feet, smokes all around. Will he survive? Looks likely, so keeping the op.
But take a look at that. I mean, Com completely overwhelmed, and then a little flustered, perhaps a little whiffy from the other two players that rank here in the A site. You'd expect Jorgamo and Ethan to be able to catch one of those, but yeah, Ethan's reaction, I think, to that. And that ends us with that MasterCard Thrifty.
There's another round here with Demon 1 watching the top section of mid. He's going to get some action almost immediately. Not quite. Angle's cut off. Open smoke in his face. It's one of the things that, in theory, oh my god! I mean, they're just rattling off bullets straight down the angle, so where somebody could be playing in and hiding. Almost claiming a freebie.
And this double smokes composition is going to put a lot of pressure on Demon 1 to find these good spots to play from. Good lineup there from Com, removes the turret. Means that Lysol's now going to be attached a bit more to watching out for B main. But FPX is going to take the time to commit to A, and that frees up the Killjoy once more to go for a lurk.
Nobody on EG is going to be playing onto the side here. Most of the setup from Tree, including the Killjoy Nanoswarm, so it's going to be completely wide open for them. Multitude of smokes laid down here, but here's the lockdown in play. It's going to be really clearing out most of the site. There has to be a call and a decision made by FPX. Do you choose to fight this one or not? A bit of confusion in the mix. They are really just staying grounded onto it. A bit of a dodge there from Berlin. Uses the ult, and he's still able to just sit himself into hell, but he needs to create more of a distraction. It's a triple face. EG, those fundamentals still reigning true, but they haven't cleared out B main. Still, tree and door needs to be watched for. Com brings it down, but still a smoke. Ethan sticking it. There's not enough damage. He's not pushed away from it. Round win for EG. Will they keep their guns till the bitter end? Ethan, no intention of peeking.
Big ultimate investment, but a nice retake from EG. I think FPX had a couple of different ways that they could approach that. Maybe just getting paralyzed with the amount of opportunities presented to them. They had Lightsaw, who could have gone for a backstab and synced up with some kind of tree push. And in the end, Yuko was just hoping to catch somebody that was pushing heaven as Berlin went for his ult dodge. But all right, still 3 rounds for FPX on attack side. It's not doing too badly, and there's still many more opportunities to rack up the score. Demon 1 looking for a different angle for the operator.
Oh, and it's just a classic play with a dart and a spam of the Odin. No one watching top mid. There's a chance there that Demon 1 got punished, but no. Dash to disengage, back away. Picking up the angle now once more, but it is FPX looking at that 4v5 disadvantage to them, and it's, well, cemented even further.
That's both of the smokes gone.
And now there's nothing to really stop Demon 1. He can take all of these line-of-sight angles. There has to be risk taken, and that's maybe what Yuko's doing. With that kill onto Com, close, it's missed. With the shot, that is a punish. It's 3 versus 3, just like that. Close to the corner is Ethan.
He's stuck here, though.
Yeah, there's no real support for him.
Ayoung still with 2 flashes. Ethan's got to be a little concerned about that, but we can see that Ayoung deep into B main is not going to be an issue.
It might just come down to individual gunfights. Still locking it down. It's a dash forwards, but there's no one else to follow up on that, so Ethan is relatively safe and sound. FPX now just trying to get themselves through onto the site. Ubustio falling. Might just get a little bit easier. Ethan, how do you play this? Do you take risks? Do you try and survive long enough for the team? No, he takes the peek and he will fall.
Looking to try and grab a timing there, and Ayoung, it looks like he's seriously in form. He's been very sharp in terms of hitting shots around the map. Puts his team in a 2v1 to win their 4th.
Jorgamo with the 1v2. Plenty of util left. Make all sorts happen with it. Smoke. Do you want to place this one? Dropping down. So one way towards the back of it. Paranoia there. TP close. Was that predicted? Lightsaw doesn't seem too likely still. Ayoung was there. Eventually the Paranoia, if it even did catch, was faded. So he gets the trade online. 5-4. Josh, this is looking almost evened up.
Yeah, it's a very nice round from FPX in terms of their individuals. Lysol manages to catch Demon 1, who was holding a bit too close of an angle, and the shot goes straight between the legs. But still, that's a very bold angle to be taken when you don't have that level of information in mid. And Ayoung, too, is able to win aim duels out around the map. Ayoung's currently at the top of the scoreboard. He was one of their best players, perhaps even their best at lock-in, and in the events prior.
Knives out, Demon 1. You're really trying to take that. There's no coverage. From the bottom section of mid, a push out through main. Will they deal with these players? EG are crumbling. It's Com. It's the last player left standing. Now they know exactly where he is. Ayoung feeling it, man. You can feel it. And so EG maybe feeling a little bit pressed to make these really proactive plays now on their defense, feeling like the game is slipping.
And they've just helped it slip a little further. Not a fan of that set play even at the best of times, but Yuko absolutely dismantles it, just swinging, ignoring the recon dart completely to take the Angels in mid. The Demon 1 didn't even get a chance to set up. EG here are going to take a timeout, and I think it's time for us to assess these expectations again.
Oh, yeah.
Once more, EG are massive favorites in this group. They've drawn a group that has a couple of teams that didn't do too well at Masters Tokyo, that ended up going out in groups despite, you know, having some levels of success before that, and then FPX, the 3rd best team from China. Not an EDG that's gone on a run before at a big event. FPX have only won a single map at an international event, and that was against Carmine Core when they were playing Triple Initiator on Haven.
Trying to rally the fan base. Trust me, crowd work is hard.
Especially when your favorite team is currently dead even in a matchup that they should, on paper, be slaughtering. FPX are certainly bringing it. And I think one of the things that they're doing really well is just finding that form that actually has been slipping recently within China. Like I said, Ayoung was one of their best players around lock-in at the beginning of the year. And since then, he's just been looking not quite as hot in the Chinese tournaments. If he gets back up to form and they have Lysor and Yuko playing, this team has serious chances of bringing it in the skill department.
EG really do need to tighten up as well the way they're playing around this. There's a lot of opportunities that they're granting. I think FPX, they would love it if they handed all of these individual fights. That's the way it's been going so far. A real chance here for FPX to gain that lead in the first half of this map, despite there only being 2 rounds left. They have the economic advantage. It's only Demon 1 with the rifle who they really have to worry about. Taking mid control, nice and early. Not smoking off the top section of it. Actually, just hoping for a fight.
The 1-3-1 setup that FPX has been running in a lot of these rounds where they take mid control is very crew-esque. You know, just controlling the aggression on the outsides of the map, going deep with Yuko and Ayoung in the middle. Demon 1 with a hero rifle is going to try and take a fight.
You're looking at Demon 1 really to find those openings. Backs away though. Bit of information. Seekers now let loose. Not too many of them going into the direction towards A. Jogamo tucked himself towards main. Will not survive though. Out towards Y. That's a skill. Okay. Dash is still there for him. Dart is good with the reveal. But tucked behind Jenny. Still alive. And kicking Ethan. Tucked inside the smoke that they suspected. They're body blocking right into each other. Surely they think that he's there. Finds the timing. Finds the kill. But is brought down in the end. Com. Left alone to do it. But already this plant is down. Most plant looking good. Turret going to be spotting out Com's location. Look at this from FPX. Already setting themselves up to group up and take the fight. Ayoung, he's got no teammates with him. Does not care.
And this is now solidly a fantastic half from FPX. To be able to get up to 6. Sure, they grabbed the pistol, but those are really significant big rounds to be able to take on the attack side of Ascent. There is a reason why this team is 8-2 on this map. And I feel like perhaps a little bit of overconfidence, maybe a little hubris, has led EG to pick in a map pool that is extremely good for FPX. When you have the depth like this, when you have the depth and the map pool advantage, I think often you benefit from just removing your opponent's best. That's not the strategy EG went with.
Here we go, last chance in the first half. Demon 1 with the operator once more. Another setup here with the Hunter's Fury. Something triggered it. Demon 1 trying to set himself up through with the chaos. The Hunter's Fury does cleave.
And in the meantime, your IGL Omen is swinging with the attack side operator. Of course he is. Just Berlin things.
He's backing away now though with the spike. The rest of his team pushing themselves up into 4 positions here. A main control. He's now still holding on to himself. Finally regrouping. Is there a rifle for Berlin? I feel like you don't want an op in this scenario, but we'll see what he can do with it.
They certainly had enough cash to be able to give him a rifle as well as the operator, but I don't know whether they did.
Here we go. Smoke's dropped down now. One at a choke point, Boostio. What kind of timing do you choose to take it? As an alarm bot at your feet. It's broken. He anticipated it. Somebody was creeping up onto that corner. Jorgamo to reposition with the TP. Needs some help though. Boostio through the smoke. Taking the fight right to it. Not enough to reset to claim that second. Jorgamo, he's still alive, anchoring towards the back, but he's fired shots off now, just creating a bit of distraction. The rest of his team helping him out, but Com is brought down. Time needs to be bought here. I mean, Jorgamo's already deep into the site. Ethan's not there with him. And it's brought into this 1v1. Ethan! Consistency laid bare. It's 6-6.
6-6, and he's dropping the back.
Yeah, I don't think they're quite there yet, to be honest.
They've
really done enough to be getting away with that still.
I mean, I can feel a bit of excitement brewing for an enormous upset. I don't know about you.
6-6 is not where we were expecting, not what we were anticipating, but yeah, that's where we're looking at right now. The #1 America's seed versus the 3rd in China. Desk, what are you making of it?
Thank you very much, Bren. And Saisho not expecting perhaps a curse here in the arena. Who knows? But let's take a look at the Verizon high-speed moment, because despite the fact that EG only managed to get 6 rounds, Mimi, Demon 1 was on form.
But the thing is, Demon 1 was on form. This is great. I mean, this clip was ridiculous. I feel like this is an EG that has had to, in this half, even just to get 6 rounds, rely a lot more on these individual moments. This wasn't what was happening at Tokyo. Sure, there were individual step-ups, and it's always good to have, but they were consistently able to take down teams like FPX. Here, EG has been struggling to contend with their weird style, and I think, Baby Bay, FPX is playing to an expectation far above what anyone would have set for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the major thing that I've noticed is they're just willing to take their time when they're down a guy. Like how many first bloods did EG get there from Demon 1? And then they just slow the round down, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, EG starts like freaking out. I wouldn't say freaking out, but they start getting antsy.
I mean, as you guys heard from Boostio in the pre-match as well, he only expected FPX to get 8 rounds, not on one map, Mimi, in this entire series. And FPX, they've got 6 already, so it's not looking very good for Boostio.
Yeah, I think this is far less dominant than EG would have thought it was going to be. The setup here was that EG needed a dominant group. This was their chance to get out, to continue going as they were. And right now they're struggling a little bit against this double controller comp. But in the second half, it's really, again, this question of how is FPX going to play this one? Because I think we saw the ideas with it in the first half, being able to scale out sites, put down these weird smokes to get space. I think that's a little harder to get value out of on defense.
Yeah, you know what? I almost want EG to like let them have 8 rounds already, so they can just have that out of their mind. Like I feel like they might be just trying to like play a little bit too much to that, and I feel like we'll see the real EG once that 8-round mark gets passed up. So I really hope, you know, that this pistol round is one from FPX.
Oh, okay, baby, not what I expected there. Sideshow and Brent, what did you make of that?
Listen, I'm all here for it. I mean, throw some chaos into the mix. The #1 seed from America getting upset by FPX, you know, the 3rd seed out of China. I would love that, honestly, for the group stage, because otherwise this group would be largely quite predictable.
People keep saying that it's going to be a predictable group. Well, not if things continue in this way.
Exactly.
EG getting set up. And one of the things that you can look at from FPX's side is how they favor attack and defense on Ascent. Usually, all teams are going to be defense-sided on this map. It's the opposite for FPX. They normally win about 60% of the time on attack and less than 50% on defense. So there's still great chances.
Yeah, flash and dart to clear most of it, but doesn't clear the players up into heaven. It's a high-low setup down below, but they're not winning the fights out. It's EG coming out on top.
And this one's going to be extremely difficult for the 2 smokes players, Nisha and Berlin, to be able to get back in on. One paranoia, maybe a stun or a pull, but Berlin goes in ahead of Nisha, trying to make something happen. And this looks like an extremely clean pistol.
Yeah, very clean. Kind of response I think you'd probably want if you're a fan of North America.
I mean, they are giving them the business.
They really are.
I could understand it if EG were up 8-1 or something like that, but considering FPX are really pushing them and had a nice looking attack side, they're setting themselves up for something.
Set themselves up for...
Might be another G at the end of this and some egg on the face.
What did Mimi say? If FPX have the potential to do the funniest thing in Valorant history.
Do the funniest thing.
Yeah, we could see it. Everyone's here to play. It's champs at the end of the day, so... 7-6, EG. Big advantage of the economy. Deep flash, Ayang.
Take flight.
Getting that information, but it's a very spread out attack side default from EG, so it doesn't really grant him too much more. Drone sets up Jorgamo, so he can hold on to this A main control, grab the orb, spray a couple of bullets, and it has pulled a ton of players from FPX over.
I really like the usage of these smokes that bloom out of the choke point, as you can see here on A. It just puts a lot of pressure. It's drawn a ton of players over towards the A side. 4 players there trying to defend it from FPX because they got utility denied, any of the, information denied. Any of the attacking players could just spill through the smoke in a multitude of angles. And EG are still playing very spread. The way that EG like to play their attack side throughout Tokyo and the run towards the latter stages of VCT Americas was that they would try and take map control and insert Demon 1 somewhere to force a pick. But at the moment, he's just grouped up with Ethan, playing things together.
Relatively cautious, but it looks like it's trending towards a bit of this B split, which leaves it up to Berlin. He's only got a classic, so unlikely to get too much done, but maybe, well, there was a chance. There was util out in the hands of Boostio. The rest of FPX now scampering and scurrying all the way over. The clearance here towards mid-com. Needs to not lose this gun, and well, the Bulldog definitely got that damage advantage. There's the fundamentals, Ethan. Helping him out. Swinging out through onto market, just trying to spot out where Isao is. Ethan, yeah, facing it. So, very clean. Flawless, in fact.
Not too bad. EG really look like they've woken up on the attack side here. We'll see if it continues into a bonus. When EG were going on that dominant run at the beginning of Tokyo, they were winning almost 70% of their bonus rounds, which is just a ludicrous amount. Prime Gaming Flawless is going to really help them keep the economy looking fairly strong. Now, having said that, they did have 2 Spectres and a Stinger. It's not like they have the biggest bite here to go in. Haven't managed their economy to get the most amount of rifles online, but grouping up here for just a heavy B hit. Looking to try and overwhelm Lysor.
And Lysor playing in front of the turret. Unorthodox, unexpected. Right in front of the turret, in fact.
Not a great idea on an anti-eco, I don't think.
I mean, Util out in the hands, panicking when the paranoia was sent flying, and Demon one man. It's precise, it's surgical, over the top. Dash still there. Yuko inside the smoke. Could he answer back? Not any chance of it fading anytime soon. Doesn't take the timing just yet. Still waiting. The rest of his team look like they're almost set up here to just save these rifles.
And Yuko's just spamming through to see if he can find anything, but that's it. That is it. One small mistake. And EG all grouped up in the same place. And it's over for FPX in this round. EG take a pistol, spiral it into a bonus. And now they're 1 away from getting Demon 1's knives, 3 away from having Com get up to an ultimate. So you'd expect to see Com or potentially Ethan here chasing to try and get these kills. They certainly want to damage the economy of FPX as much as they can.
And they should be hunting.
Com's looking for it.
Spots the one. Rest of his team now grouping up, but looks like they have no intention of just trying to take that fight.
No, it's just a little a standoff, a stalemate happening
the
over here.
trenches are dug out, yeah.
Fair enough. Bit of respect shown.
If we go easy on them, they will never learn.
With that save, FPX are going to have enough for a serious buy here in round 16. And this is where they need to halt the momentum. You take a look at how this worked. I mean, Lysor's in front of his turret, as you were pointing out, Brent. With utility in hand, that's just not a sensible decision.
Yeah.
And I think he knows it, judging by that reaction.
Keep it up.
On the big stage, sometimes these things can just catch you off. You find yourself playing in a manner you don't do in scrims.
It's very common, in fact. EG are mounting this lead. Deep dart over, that's going to tag onto Aang, and there's no time wasted with this one. The flash slight. Blind there onto Demon 1, but he is not wasted time. He's all the way through into tree, smoke drop down and a dash forwards. Crosshair placement, excuse me. Cut up for the moment. There's going to be a pull through the choke point, but is it too late? It might just be. Still players into the site. Yuko from heaven. He's eventually traded, but he's still doing a damage flash through. Even just, again, blindly firing. And Lysor out in the open, getting his ankles broken. Jorgamo is there with a Guardian.
And this attack side has just been dominant. I mean, your expectations for the match met here completely in the 4 rounds that we've seen so far on attack. FPX are not able to hold on, and EG are disrespecting them. The pace at which Demon 1 is just running into sight, no cares given.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning of these rounds, it's just been such a rapid pace off the rip.
It's been very disrespectful, I think, in terms of not really caring if FPX are in a position to try and punish them.
Yeah.
Especially on that split through A. You know, normally teams are a little diligent. There's some utility thrown towards tree to make sure that someone can swing through the smoke, and maybe you pause for a moment to make sure you're all perfectly set up and the spacing's good. Whereas instead there, you just see EG barreling forwards, determined to bulldoze over FPX.
Yeah, not worried about, you know, any semblance of plays. The Astra Stars that you could use, I mean, plenty of util to just try and slow you down. You think about the Astra in place of like maybe a KO on a defensive setup, so they'd have, you know, a nade, flashes, the knife even, to just try and delay. They're just not worried about it.
No, I mean, EG, I think, have a little talk with themselves probably during the halftime and have decided that they just want to overpower FPX.
Yeah.
Sometimes the faster you play and the more aggressively you play, the more mistakes you force out of your opponent. And with a team like FPX, yeah, they've got strong players, and they can certainly win aim duels and create some chaos and interesting strategies, but they also make a ton of mistakes. And you take the good with the bad when it comes with teams like FPX. But when you're playing against them, trying to force out those mistakes is often a key win condition.
What's interesting here is Demon 1 now has picked up the operator off the back of a lot of fast execs into sights. I wonder if EG were just trying to condition it. And now going into much slower play, you are really forced down to a crawl. Of course, Demon 1 does have the Blade Storm, so they can speed it up at any time. It's not going to be limited to just the weaponry. Hunting for a pick.
They may have been anticipating some kind of half-buy tiles crunch play there. But FPX are forced with 2 Bulldogs.
Drone broken, bit of damage there, the bullets landing. Not enough for the kill. Jorgamo survives over the top, breaking the Trailblazer. Doing enough in the early portion of this round as well, removing and cutting away any information FPX are trying to get just through the sky util.
Potential
still
for
have 2 flashes.
Potential for a jet battle here on Catwalk. Actually, though, FPX looking like they want to re-clear through A main.
They didn't even use a flash for it. Just a recall star in a face.
Yeah.
Fully grouped up and pushing now.
I quite like it, though. You don't give any indication to EG that you're in this area of the map.
Oh, and they are pushed deep. Lambot's being broken. EG are not aware of this.
30 seconds
It's
left.
going to be happening behind them. Demon 1, he misses it. Back me and face to Young. Flash round to the side here, and here's the players from the top section of mid. All of that deep flank. Demon 1 left to try and contain and push them back. Lysor capitalizing off of it. Swinging in the midst of all of that, and time is running more than short right now. There's about 11 seconds left. They don't have control of A main, don't have control of the site, and Ayang dealing damage and a death and a blow. Nieshouse still in control of it with all that positioning gained prior.
What a great call by Berlin there. What a fantastic decision to triple re-clear through A main. They left a gaping gap over towards Tree, but Demon 1 with the operator is not really going to be in a position to try and push forwards aggressively and take that space. He's looking for picks. Here's another very important duel as Boostio swung into Lysor, who was the only player defending the B split through market, and Lysor wins the duel.
Now one call, changing the tide of things here. But we see a return to the faster plays of EG. That was what was winning them these rounds on the attack side. Yuko though, operator, misses the flick, Ethan. He was watching it from the top side of mid. Had the protocols there.
And that's a very bold play to go for Yuko when nobody's watching your top mid and there's no utility really to block that off.
Another clearance, that's just contact plays into main. Jorgamo spots it out, had the ult in his hands, thinking about a quick pivot. Maybe still considering it. Call yet to be made by the rest of the team, but they are grouping up now over towards B, and they have pushed Demon 1 into a deep 4 position into mid. Paranoia re-clear.
Lysor's got to back off now.
Yeah, got to play around your util, but still Lysor's just holding his ground, and he falls TP into the back. Berlin, he does remove him. Jorgamo's gone. Hunter's Fury though, there's a connection. There is the kill. Com is getting value from it. Shot missing, Demon 1 into mid. The Seeker's distracting him, or what? Not too sure, but still, it's a 2v3. FPX could make something of this one. Nieshouse just trying to play this one fast and loose as well, not waiting for any sort of timing. Spotted out though, there's a double face, Ayang! He's brought it down into a 1v1, and Com playing into main, Ayang. Still, he spotted him surely, just the edge of the gun, edge of the weaponry! Oh! Nails the shot!
Ayang has just been incredible for FPX here in map 1. Winning the duel against Demon 1's operator, comes through, claims another 3 kills. Perfect trade into backside, and identifies compositioning, remembering that Hunter's Fury earlier on. Look at the aim. It's so sharp from him.
Yeah, that is top form. He's feeling it.
And like I said, this is such a revival for him. He's looked a little limp recently in the last couple of months. But you know he's got that quality.
Definitely seen it before.
Yeah, he's got star player aim on the Flex Initiator role, often playing Sky, able to take these kind of duels. And at the moment, he's having an excellent game and keeping FPX within touching distance of EG.
And forcing that timeout out of EG once more. We've reached the round limitation, Josh. You were interviewing in the morning with the arrivals.
I was, yes.
Yeah.
He said 13-4, 13-4.
Well,
That ain't happening.
yeah, that ain't happening. Not at this rate. It is steadily getting closer and closer, creeping towards the danger zone. You know, we were saying earlier as well, we needed to see the adjustments from FPX after losing, was it 4 rounds in a row? You can see from the timeline on their defense side, and the adjustments have been there.
They certainly have. I think one of the key adjustments has been their ability to re-clear through A main. I mean, that's what we've seen in round 17 and 18 that's given them such freedom to be able to rotate people off. Because once they realize that A main is clear, they're completely aware that EG are going into B splits or looking towards tree. This time, I think EG are looking to try and adapt upon the adaptation. They look like they want to take much earlier A main control. At least Jorgamo's positioned more aggressively.
That's a crazy way to peek that with the updraft, but spots a player towards top mid. Yuko going to be pinging it out and repositioning, making sure he stays fluid with the operator. It's pretty important. Double clearance now over towards Cap from EG, droning into mid to just try and, you know, hide the intent of what they're going for with this hit. Is there any util to clear this corner off? Just a smoke and a flash. Ethan right behind him. Who wins this fight out? Dash is still there, an active jump spot onto the left side. Demon One has tucked himself into that corner.
Jorgamo's been spotted in A main as well. He's had to back off. So that may have ruined the timing. They might want to pivot this, move away from tree and go into a B split again.
Flash doesn't get deaded. Second one does though. Yeah, this has been slowed. Down to 35 seconds now. Bustio being pushed. Wow. What an angle to peek off the alarm box. Contact! Instantly responded, and meanwhile, there's a battle taking place on the other section of the map, but EG have no intention of going over towards A. Straight down mid, right into Lysor, the difference maker. The spikes drop down. It is carnage occurring. Damage definitely done. Lysor needs to try and play for his life. Still Yuko has picked up the angle a little bit too late here. Paranoia out in the open. Lysor can't land the kill. 11 bullets and towards the backside of it. Ethan's there. Jorgamo collects. 12 seconds left and they are going to be able to get this plant down. The site is opened. Taeyang in a 1v2. The form has been good but does not expect it. The positioning or repositioning of Jorgamo. Enough to clinch the round.
Jorgamo's positioning in that round was just madness too. I mean, he's up close towards A main at the start of the round and then throwing his paranoia, just kind of bunny hopping towards Lysor. But here's where Aang made this round winnable, and Lysor as well. These two continue to win Angels very consistently against EG. This time not quite enough, but still pushed. EG though creep further and further to the finish line.
An important thing to note as well is the economy taking a bit of a tumble. Pistols for FPX, plenty of ults to use here, trying to play aggressively, spamming through the wall with it, dart tagging. Lysor in so much trouble. I mean, just facing wide here. Lockdown, used, shot missing. The bunny hops just narrowly avoiding all these bullets that are flying straight through them, but you got to respect this lockdown now. Has to be the evacuation. Is there any sort of utility to stop it? Updraft, dash, yep, nade into the corner, along with the Nana Swarm. It clears them out. Pushes them back, gives that player advantage, but for EG right now, still, the post plan actually, as long as they get this plant down, is actually quite good. They have been main control still, and with that kill, again, the advantage keeps going their way. Flash and a repeat, slight miss, but still with the rifles. Maybe they can get these kills up. Yuko, last one left, not for much longer. 12-8, one more round for EG.
Match point.
FPX need 4 in a row to be able to draw this into overtime. I think that's going to be a challenge for them. They've looked good. They have a lot of big ultimates, but the way in which they're getting results is, you know, forcing EG to take unfavorable duels and ended up winning them with Ayoung and Lysor. I just don't think, I think there's been too many mistakes for them to win 4 in a row. They're going to have to really bring the consistency here towards the end of map 1.
Let's see if it can happen. Still with the attack side operator, Demon One will be forced to slow this one down, but EG look like they're almost setting up for play into the site.
This has been red. You can see both the Killjoy and the Astra deep back in spawn, playing anti-KO ult setups. They can still pull and stun and activate smokes, have those nanoswarms popped off, but it does mean that they lack a ton of map control. They're essentially playing you know, 3v5 up until the sight hit comes through.
Yeah.
They were expecting EG to pick up that ult orb and go straight into a hit.
Jorgamo placing the deep smoke. Dart as well to mid. Again, FPX don't really have a clue what could be occurring. Star still into the choke point. With this, yeah, no command comes through, and they are going to be able to dead these, so look at that. It's going to be the pull online, but they just wait it out. Berlin still anchoring towards the back, cannot use the util. Will the push come through? Demon 1, I mean, he's just entering for them with the operator. The rifles will clean it up in the end. Shots hitting. Everybody on form right now for EG, and they can feel it. This is it. Precipice to try and take away map number 1. Team hungry to get this done and over with just like that. Map number 1 will be theirs. It's a 13-8 finish for EG. A credit to FPX, definitely pushing them.
But that is FPX's, in theory, best map, and EG have just taken it in 13-8. You know, a great performance from Ayoung, I think. In terms of his individual form, looked very sharp, but EG were certainly able to pull ahead on their attack side. FPX only winning 2 defensive rounds on Ascent. That tracks with how they've played the map historically. They're much better on the attack side than the defense side. Still some holes in their game, but you can see that when FPX have their moments, they look like they're going to be able to take rounds away. The question really is if they can turn that into maps or even a series.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of that individual step-ups of form, not really the the prior planning of any sort of defensive setups, the good ideas. And honestly, a lot of disrespect, I think, being showcased by EG. They were definitely taking a lot of those individual duels, weren't playing with the solid fundamentals that carried them to that second place finish at Tokyo.
I think they had some moments of it,
Yeah.
and some moments that slipped. And to be honest, that's going to be a continuing question throughout their run. I don't think we're going to learn everything we want to know about EG from one series. It's going to be a course of the entire group.
I couldn't agree more. Waiting to see if those questions are still being answered. But of course, plenty more of the series, of course, left to play. On top of that, that was only just map number 1.
Hey, and FPX are pretty decent at Pearl. That's coming up next.
Yeah, lots of chances for them to do some more damage, maybe just make it much more even over the course of this series. Well, we'll find out anyway. That is map 1, all wrapped up for it. Surprise and elation on the face of the EG players. We're right back after this with the rest of the series. Do not go anywhere.
Red Bull gives you wings.
You know, there has been a substantial gap between these events, Tokyo till today. What has the team been working on? What has been the main point of preparation for the team to get them ready? Because it was a little slow start, but it looked like they were revving up out there.
It was definitely a slow start. The boys were complaining about being cold, things like that. So we literally had to warm up into map 1. But for us, we felt like our map pool was not as deep as we wanted, not as many layers. So you know what, we have Pearl coming up in map 2. It's one of the maps that we wanted to punish pick in Tokyo. I think for Champions, we're ready. We're about to prove it right now in the server.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to that one, Pot. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Have a good one.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy and Potter. I'm back here with Baby Bay and Mimi. There is nothing scarier than Potter telling you that they got stuff prepared and they can't wait to show it.
Yeah, this is the team who will always have something cooked up, and I feel like that does summarize the game a lot. It was really slow for EJ. I think some of the fundamentals were having issues, and FPX is a team that's really good, even when they go down in players, at converting those chaotic rounds at the end to make it close. But Baby, once we switched to that second half, it was such a dominant run from EG.
Yeah, I mean, first bloods are very important in this game, and the amount of first bloods that EG got compared to FPX was, I mean, even from the first half was a lot, like a big differential. So the fact that they were able to maximize on those on attack, it's really important.
Well, let's take a quick stop in the aim lab, shoot around and check in on Jogamo, see how he's doing, if he's still cold, but it feels like they've definitely warmed up already after that first map.
Jaw's one of those players that I think went from being the biggest player on EG. Last year, he was the guy everyone hyped up, how good he was on Raze. I thought he was one of the best in North America at that age. And I don't know about that one. Little weird from him there. But I feel like now, after being on this controller role for a while, he's actually gotten so consistent. He had a great tournament at Masters and has thus far been continuing that here at Champs.
You're just laughing at his cross.
Yeah, I can't believe this. I want to see him use this in game, but yeah, but to Mimi's point, he is sick. He's a sick player, and he is most known for his Raze, but every single time I see him play this Omen, he's getting more and more impact. Kind of reminds me of like Marv in a way, like Marv vibes from last year.
Yeah, I could see it out of Jojimo here. He's just been such a strong and consistent force for this team. You think about the 3 core members, Calm, him, and Busio, who've been on this EG roster for so long. It really feels like they were all peaking at the right time, right? Busio as well, having a crazy tournament at Masters, showing up in this game as well. Like, when this team needs that step up, these guys, I feel like, really can bring the firepower, even though that's not normally what we talk about with EG.
I mean, Calm is another player that I knew you were super impressed with at Tokyo.
Yeah. I mean, his ult, like his Sova ults are just something crazy. Like I think he like I don't know what the average is, but he gets a kill every single time he ults, and I feel like that's very rare. I, for one, cannot get any kills with Sova ult in range.
Did you ever play an agent other than Jet, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like once or twice, maybe across a career?
2 times. No,
Okay.
I mean, Baby Sova incoming, who knows? But we've heard from Potter already for the side of EG. Let's hear what Coach Nathan had to say ahead of Map 2. He's standing by with Golden Boy.
Thank you so much, squad. Yes, I'm here with Coach Nathan as well as Wendy, our translator. So let's just jump right into this here. Coming into Champions, what was the most important thing that you wanted FPX, this team, to focus on? And also, how are you going to get the team back in Map 2?
那第一个问题整个问题想问一下我们 Nathan 教练的是，其实来到冠军赛，来到 LA， 你觉得整个的队伍，你觉得你们更应该注重在哪一个方面呢？同时，可能在下一张图在深海明珠的时候，怎么样才能够打回来呢？
我觉得我们注重的是就是吸取强队经验嘛，但是不是在一级身上吸取。然后还有就是我们图2，我觉得我们只要打好我们的，我们刚输了一些人数优势的残局，如果我们能把握住的话，我觉得我们正常打就可以获胜了。
We feels like for the champions, our main goal is we would like to learn more from different strong teams. We would like to accumulate more experience, but not learn from EG, hopefully. And also for the preparation in Pro for the next map, we feels like for the first map, we just made some mistakes here and there. For some clutch, we didn't manage to get the win. So if we just focus on our own performance, try our best, we still got the chance to win the second map.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to seeing if FPX can take us to a Map 3. Good luck, Coach. Back to you guys.
I mean, they do have a chance to bring it back. And Baby Bay, I know they lost on Map 1, but we saw flashes of brilliance. We saw what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, Young is cracked. He's very good. I mean, like, we saw him just crispy. We saw him win the clutch round, too. And Lysor's a little bit of a crazy man, but, you know, I could see the skill in his aim as well. And I think this is a good map, you know, for people that have really great aim, you know, Pearl.
I absolutely think so, too. And I like the approach that we heard there from Coach Nathan for FPX. You think back to EDG, it was a long time coming for them to start performing consistently internationally, to make that run at Tokyo. They made it to 2 other global events before that where they were struggling. I think for these Chinese teams who maybe don't have the greatest scrim environment to get exposed to a lot of different international teams, just getting an opportunity to come here to learn, to play against teams of a different style and at top level is great. And if they can continue that through, if they can take a map off EG, leave a mark in some way, that's even better. But Potter was saying EG had something prepped, and in the Prime Gaming Agent Select, they're switching over, baby, to a comp that a lot of people have been playing in North America. It was kind of first seen in Ascension with M80 and the Guard going back to the Sova KO comp.
Yeah, I haven't seen them run this comp in a very, very long time. Last time I scrimmed them on this comp was probably like, I don't know, maybe like even like the beginning of the year.
It was the old meta, yeah.
Yeah, Demon 1 wasn't even on the team, honestly.
I mean, every time they've kind of injected Sova into a comp, it's always worked out pretty well, right?
Yeah.
We also do see, I think it's good for them, right? This is a great agent for comp, as you were talking about. It's the ult where he's so successful with consistently. FPX, on the other hand, though, are back to the double controller shenanigans again. I think with new Pearl, though, there are some ideas you can do. On the defensive side, you can hold down that B site really well with constant smokes to drop, to actually block off that choke point. But on the attacking side, I'm guessing it'll be similar to Ascent, where we're seeing them use that to scale.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this Omen is played at. Like, is he going to play aggressive? Like, how is he going to do this? Because you're missing out on the KO potential, or like even just the Harbor, which is like mad delay, right? So I'm wondering if he's going to use this Omen as like an entry to go in with the Jet.
Boostio gave us an ultimatum at the beginning of this game. They're only going to get 8 rounds across the series. Yep. They got 8. So if EG want to stick to that, if Boostio wants to prove himself right, they're going to need to 13-0. Last time they had one of those, it was against Loud. They lost it. They have a chance to maybe reverse that history here to keep things up. But with FPX sneaking away with so many rounds on Ascent, something tells me that won't happen.
Honestly, even if they get 1 round and prove Boostio wrong, in my eyes, that's a win. That is a win for the side of FPX. But will we see a 3rd map? Here is the question. Let's find out and send it back to Bren and Sideshow for the 2nd map.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, no time wasted with this one. We are already jumping into the first pistol round. The barriers are about to drop. And fully grouped up from FPX. The exception is a little bit of presence being shown, at least into mid, while they try and take that A main control.
It's a little bit of a fake, though, isn't it? Berlin using that teleport to get away, making it sound like they've taken A control. And that's not bad either. The 0 point actually does catch onto Eyang, really makes it feel like there's a lot in A main instead of Art.
Plenty of players on the other side of this one. Trailblazer, that's going to be the trigger. Demon 1 gets out of there.
He went back for the repeat.
Yeah, he really did. One more kill and he's got his dash back. He wants even more! And they're going to give it to him. 3 kills. On for the ace. Spike drop down. Knows where Nizhao is, but denies that chance. Still left in a 2 versus 4. Eyang now opting into just contacting, but Ethan with the jiggle. Doesn't want to give away too much, and yet calls the peak timing together. And the backstab is on its way. There it is.
Very nice pistol round from EG. I mean, especially powered by Demon 1, just hitting those shots with the Ghost. Impressed with the crosshair placement on the first repeat too. Knew exactly where that opponent would be. I think it's You've oh no, my apologies, Lysor. That ends up getting taken down there very easily. I'm not too mad though about how FPX have been approaching this. I feel like the games that I was watching in China, there was a lot of silliness going on from this squad, Brent. And I feel like they've toned it down quite a bit. It's always difficult when you come into big international tournaments like this, trying to select the right amount of risks to take.
So you're the opposite of me. I want to see more silliness. I want to see it turned up.
Yeah, maybe that is the win condition, to be honest. Team 1's feeling confident here.
Yeah.
Solo looking for a fight for the first 15 seconds of mid.
Common's not holding this with a gun. Now he can hear the footsteps. He's got to run all the way back to Paranoia. That's a great connection and a dash engaged to punish. Demon 1, though, is there instantly. The dash is well to back away. Still enough damage done. Lysol will fall. Another dash in the back pocket. Shots going wide. Out to the side. Ethan, make sure that he can contain. He does get the spike down. Dropped into position, but they gave up control of R, so he has to re-clear that one.
In the meantime, Nichar's going for a bit of a lurk play through. They thought they'd got rid of the alarm bot in B-Link. Instead, Boostio had it watching that little play up B-Long.
And Jorgamo as well is just pushing his entire time out behind him into mid. Boostio landing it. Cell falling. Ayang, the form has been impeccable. The Guardian has got it, baiting the peak. Couple of shots sent out. The reposition. Does he expect where Jorgamo is? Which way?
It's just no way.
Going. 20 seconds left. Still contacting. Missing the timing.
Did Jorgamo spot him?
I don't think so. He's looking towards double doors the entire time.
He's
12
heard it
seconds.
now.
So yeah, Ayang has to get a move on. Has to run if he's going to
10
make any
seconds
chance. This round, semblance of a conversion. There's really no time left here. I mean, 4 seconds remaining. Has to get off of it when he hears it.
Interesting play by FPX. We already see one of the ideas that the Omen is going to provide on this map. That paranoia was really quite nice. Set them up for a deep play into mid. Completely caught the first pick. But we're going to have to see more. It's such an unusual composition to be playing. Your questions come, where does the value come from? How are you going to get enormous amounts of value from the Astra and the Omen? And of course, this map, with it being changed, the defense side, you've got ways of being able to hold on to either site with the single smokes. Don't necessarily need the Viper or the Harbor anymore.
The premium being played here for EG. Into the mid. Through the double doors. Demon 1, all that work prior. Those 5 kills. He's built up the Blade Storm. Hear the footsteps now. Wants to take the fight to it. Shut down. Ayang.
What a shot.
That is nasty. It's hard to hit that. The jumping jet gliding through the air. He plucks Demon 1 out of the sky. There's a re-clear called, it looks like, by EG into main. Leaves it really just up to Ethan to clear into the connector.
I like this idea, but also FPX slowing things down. It's a great call by Berlin.
Even a Trailblazer now to clear the space out. They otherwise wouldn't have. Dog broken. I don't know if it cleared Calm. Too aware of this one. Another paranoia, really. These main players are really finding it difficult to just get through this one. Maybe a bit of counter spam in order still. FPX, you core! Oh yeah, finding all sorts of kills. Boostio now left to try and play this retake. Just the Marshal. So unlikely, and yeah, the rifles sailing FPX through quite cleanly.
Great round from FPX. I love the calls from Berlin. He's been at the bottom of the scoreboard, but I think in terms of how he's leading his team around the map, they've got some great ideas. And Ayang continues to just deliver ridiculous shots. Look at that little reaction there from Demon 1. That's a reaction of respecting his opponent. This is another map where FPX are able to use the same style of composition, in fact the exact same composition as on Ascent. Another map where they're extremely good on the attack side. In China, they tend to win 60% of their rounds on Pearl attack.
I got the spike.
Flash through to re-clear now into Art. UG also making a play of their own. That was a dart dash set up with the flash from Ethan all the way at the back. He's already rotated though. And they've given up that middle area.
Ethan's going to have lots of these long-range flash lineups. You see him play them on Ascent too, just to support people, combo them with the recon darts.
Now the dog pushing through, they can hear, again, the rumbling of the footsteps forwards. Com, shock dart, good damage done, but already the dash forwards to get themselves into the side here. FPX looking to see if they can land some shots, get some kills. Ucore walking right into them. It's EG, they're just being handed these kills here. Boostio was alone and isolated towards the back of the site. There is chaos created when the smokes are propped up like this, yet Ayang, great chance for him to really do some damage into the backlines there, but no, brought down in the middle of it still. Spike retrieved, a tap onto it. Again, trying to force that reaction out, but just Lysol walking right into the nade. Opens it out, and Demon 1, he's feeling crispy.
Very tough for Lysol to be able to get the spike down in that spot. Great utility usage from Ethan. The fragment grenade there is just completely denying the only safe spot that they could really play from.
Here.
And that's a killer, because if Lysor had been able to get that, he's got the lockdown maybe available. There were a couple of different ways that FPX could have won that round. Young as well, on his little load play through mid. But EG deal with another dangerous situation, find themselves up 3-1. Is this going to be the round where we see a big clash towards an extremity? Really, EG
Lots
have
of
been
ults.
letting them get away with taking map control quite a lot.
Yeah. Have to anticipate the lockdown in play. They have fully alled in, aren't they? FPX are not really playing any other area of the map. Here's a lockdown. Drop that one. There's no tools to really break this one unless EG have cooked up some lineup. And as I say that, nades. There needs to be something else.
No, it's close enough.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Enough damage done. Fully with the lineup, Ethan. He's really being pressured into the back. Flash rebounded off to the side, takes the peek. Off of it, runs out of bullets though. Can't exchange the weaponry still. The team are there to flood in and help them out. Jorgamo popping off entirely. That's 4 in a round for him.
And EG look excellent there on the defensive round. I mean, they just have plans on plans. It's another round where Ethan's fragment grenade finds incredible value and shuts down Lysor trying to make a play. Denied the spike plant in the prior. This time, takes down the lockdown. And then they just hold on to backside.
My ult's ready.
Swinging together, supported by a player from Art if they need it. Make it very difficult for FPX to get really deep back there. FPX are going to take a tactical timeout.
Don't blame them after that. I mean, you had plenty of ults coming into it. Equal guns as well. It felt like the advantage should have been theirs, but...
I think one of the issues for FPX is that they're trying to get through to the sites maybe a little early. I really like the look when they slow the pace down and are just trying to generate picks around the map. It seems like they've actually got quite a few ideas of how they want to do that. You remember the paranoia play from earlier?
Yeah.
You know, any kind of punish on Demon 1 looking to get aggressive. If Berlin's able to call something more slowly that has some level of, you know, a map control play where they go and take Art or A main or B link, and then they wait for some kind of re-aggression, I think they've got chances of ending up being in an advantageous situation before they even get to the site.
Jorgamo currently leading with the calls, the kills, I should say. 8-2 on his team. And yeah, I think I agree with you there, Josh. You know, slow it down a little bit for FPX on the attack side. Generate the picks. You've shown that you can go toe-to-toe with a lot of the EG players. That prior map kind of proved that, with where they were finding some of these round wins, but now seeing again a difference, a change-up. One tucked inside his smoke. That's just to deny information in case there was a sky flash used deep towards pillar. Con with a jiggle peek. He misses the timing. Lysor catches him completely unaware.
Right there.
And this level of mid control is where FPX have been finding value. And the push out from Jorgamo could get punished.
They're going to be giving away another weapon, maybe, potentially. No, there's a flash off of it. Tucked to the box there. He's how spamming with the damage. Jorgamo let's claim the kill eventually, but he can't quite remove it.
And now Demon 1 is in the position to win or lose this round for EG.
Feeling the heat. There's a okay, smoke laid down at least. Does isolate one of the angles, but the tap with a rifle, not enough. Trying to play it quite cautiously enough though. Is there? He's calm with the aim, resetting it and adjusting enough to just really bring everybody down to their knees and more. The positioning of FPX. Spike not quite planted for them with Berlin up onto the high ground position. Is there an idea from EG? Yeah, just a double face up.
While Demon 1 tears them to pieces. Demon 1 managed to find 3 separate 1v1s with clinical tapping aim and good spray control after a wide swing. That's what they're hunted for. They got close last time. EG up 5-1. Great round from Demon 1 here. The way that he just picks FPX apart, isolating his ones instead of allowing them to face him with 2 or 3, taking the utility completely out of the question. And also what a great flash thrown by Ethan there to support Jorgamo on his retake of A main. Ethan's utility continues to be unbelievably good. That might end up being a factor again as Berlin looks for some A control.
I really do rate Ethan as a player coming into his event. Timings and positioning, I mean, the consistency is off the charts of that guy. Demon 1 taking a gander into mid as U-Core, who's favored, rips the head clean off. Goodbye to the Jet adversary. And now they're slowing it down again. I quite like this look. You're forcing a response out of EG now that they're a player down.
And the response is to reclear A once more. Ethan still has a flash, but Aang's going to take contact earlier.
Ethan wins the fight out. Aang potential there to win that one, but now it's a 4v4 at this point. So reaping Ethan, he knows that there's a chance that they've got to gain that space out towards it. Flash not quite connecting, still they want to take the fights towards it. The spacing not good enough. Jorgamo. Oh, he's just beamed them all down where they stand. The spike drop down. The late lurk of Lysor won't be getting too much more value. There's a jump spot. Just try and force one of these fights through the wall. Follow the traces, and you'll be guided right to a kill. Not a lot of time though. Jorgamo, how's he finding these, man? The guy is just dominating.
Well, they're not quite looking like they're on track for the clean sweep 13-0, but aside from that one anti-bonus win that FPX was able to put up, it has been clean.
30 seconds left.
FPX are struggling to try and contain these A re-clears from Jorgamo and Ethan. And then also, while I like the slower pace from Berlin at the start of the rounds, when you realize that there's two in A main like that, I think you've got to turn up the pace on the arc push. There's no use being slow and still contacting through. Use your utility, pop. It's that variety of pace that I think FPX are lacking.
Cross from Lysor. Just want to fight on to Boostio, and Demon 1 couldn't hit the return shot. So advantage now to FPX.
Another situation where FPX have a 5v4 situation. Can they recover it? Or can they, sorry,
at least convert it, yeah. Grouped up, but now starting to make a bit more noise here with a dog into the back. Jorgamo is weaving in and out of these smokes. Pops up on top of the half wall. He's not scared at all. Being dissuaded there, Ethan. He lets rip the no command. No abilities able to be used here. Com is quite far forward. I mean, this angle is unusual, but it should get traded if FPX play this one together. Nizal doesn't know where he is. He was looking the other way. And Korm just removes two of them. One more avenue not to be worried about. Paranoia on top of the pull at their feet. Nobody can get past this choke point, and EG are really putting the dampener on any sort of sight hit. Still FPX having a few of these shots, and there's still 30 seconds left to make something happen. It is a 2 versus 2. Ethan alone. Only for now, though. Demon 1 rapidly approaching the position to try and help him out. Ethan, does he know where he is? Here's the TP flash. Dodge to the side, and that's a spike.
Down A.
And not far enough forward here. Just watching for it. Flash not connecting. Hopping around the side, but taking far too much damage. That is 7-2-1.
They simply cannot find a way through this A defense. Even when they have a player advantage, the players being able to hold on to backside are dug in. This doesn't help. I mean, whether it was a communication issue or just a lack of awareness from both of those guys coming through art, Com just looked like he was invisible on their screens. They had no clue where he was. You heard it from Potter that the team needed a warm-up, and they were ready to showcase to everybody why Pearl is going to be a very strong map for them in the future for this tournament. They're looking dangerous right now.
Seeing evidence of that. No one breaking the drone, so tagging just the one there. Interesting buy from FPX. I mean, they do still have the blade. You can see it. Yuko's hands.
I got the spikes.
Dog to clear out towards A main. The rest of them looking towards Art, but EG grouped up. They realize they've lost control of mid. You can see that's why they're just holding towards sewers.
But FPX have never pressured B, so they've just left Boostio with his turret and his alarm bot to hold this down.
Yeah, it's a massive,
there's 4 players ready
massive
to collect
rotation,
this.
isn't it? Yeah, EG is just more than ready still. Can you be ready for Yuko? And Berlin combine mind of them. Here's the Hunter's Fury to try and push them back inside the smoke, trying to take that timing through the chaos and the confusion. Com finds 3. The Hunter's Fury beams right down, but the util out in his hands. The man's playing a different game. He doesn't have the gun out. Leaves it to the 1v1. Boostio versus Nizal. And the repositioning. Boostio almost anticipating it here. Out towards the side. Is the crosshair placement going to be good? Out into the open. Shots missing, but finally it is there. Adjusted in time.
Baby Bear was talking about the fact that Com's ultimates on Sova are just ludicrous. He always seems to manage to get at least 1. How about 3? And then throwing a shock dart instead of swinging with his rifle towards the end. Gotta see this on the replay. Cinematic version as well. Picks off the Jet, who'd taken a little bit of damage from Ethan, and then just as the rest of FPX are funneling through Art, picked off everyone.
Yeah, all softened up.
This is dominant from EG. There are a bunch of teams in the tournament that have loved the changes to Pearl. In terms of getting back to solo smokes, being able to play the Sova and the KO on this map, but it just fits EG like a glove.
Yeah.
And you can tell they've put the effort in.
Looking good for it. FPX, it's disrespect. Not worried about the util. Knife does tag though. Right down, I believe 2 players as well. Going to be giving some information here for EG. Team 1, far forward.
And look at the rotates already. The 0 point spots people in A main. They know that it's not fake presence from FPX. Lockdown used. Ethan sprinted his way over, and Demon 1 once more.
I mean, he is so close to this corner. There are many players waiting for them. Can they anticipate it? 2 ripped away, and Ucore does get the trade in time, but this is still desperation for FPX, finally making their move across, but tagged up by the drone. Ethan, it's an absolute firing range for him, and the rest of EG, look at it. All the util in the world, enough to set them up for a slam dunk finish.
Brent, I was speaking to Boostio and Potter before the tournament began, and they shared with me that one of the greatest strengths for Evil Geniuses has been the addition of that reserve roster, because they run scrims and trials and drills, more importantly, against that kind of sister team repeatedly. A defense, A defense, A defense, A defense. This is a drill at this point.
Oh, yeah.
FPX are not really showing anything new or different. They're just hammering their heads into the brick wall that is the EG defense on A.
No intention from FPX to go towards B. That conditioning into mid. Demon 1, what was that set up with? It felt like maybe a left-click flash from Ethan. Nobody blinded up, so first kill advantage going FPX's way. They've had a few of them so far in this half. Yeshu has been taking it one step further. Drone is going to be good here to get clearance. That's 2 players spotted, and suddenly instant information.
Combine that with the 0 point information, and they can be very sure that it's just another Art pushed away. So this is where round 11, Berlin's got to call something different. You just can't be doing the same stuff over and over. It's another re-clear. Jorgamo and Com this time instead of Ethan.
And EG are going to be getting a ton of information. They have left mid completely open though, so you can see the positioning of the EG players. Just watching just in case there is that deep lurk. They don't know currently the Ucore will be sitting. But he is isolated essentially on an island while the rest of his team now just starts to work their way into B.
So many good ways that FPX can close this out. The Cosmic Divide in particular.
There's a lockdown though to slow down the approach. Anything to break this one. I mean, the Killjoy utility has already just slowed them down to a crawl. Berlin going for the plant out wide, no control of any other areas of the map. The Cosmic Divide is perfect. Splits it up. Detainment online here, and EG now setting themselves up for this reflank attempt. Double pushed up together. There's a flash on top of it. Jorgamo, would he anticipate it? No. With the reset, this guy is just phenomenal right now. He's feeling it. And more. Still, it is just up to him. It's a 1v2 while all this was happening in Ayang. That's going to be the second round on the board off the back of that.
Last round before the switch.
Finally, FPX sent things in another direction, and they're rewarded for it. I like the idea from Jorgamo there. I love the 180 jump peak, anticipating a flash, I think. These rounds are few and far between from FPX. Relying on big punishes of Demon 1 in the early round, and then heavily relying on Ayang and Lysor to be able to do the majority of the heavy lifting in the frag department.
Last round of this first half, so we see FPX get one more in the back pocket.
Com's got an Odin. God help them if they end on A.
He's going to be holding towards the back section, yeah. Into dugout, but it's mid-control. That's the aim of this start. Berlin calling for it. They have taken up control of the connector. They haven't broken the turret yet, though.
And one of the issues, I think, Brent, is that they just don't leave people over towards the top of B at the start of these rounds. You know, they would love to be set up for some kind of B split, but they don't know if Demon 1's been pushed up deep over towards B. And they don't have any presence in that area. Okay, Berlin is just using his ultimate there to clear the way for Nishar to take A main.
Seekers as well on top of it. It's all layered up. Com is It's going to be spotted out here. Yeah, the Seekers, I believe. No, not quite latching onto him. He's just trying to spray Lysor all the way through. Demon One over the top. Updraft. A flash in play. Everybody blinded up, going for another bite of the apple. Demon One, he's feeling it. Precise form. Close to the corner here. There has to be that reposition. Ayang with a back to it, man. Maybe expecting that the side was clear. The Cosmic Divide did break this one up entirely. Dash forwards. Who knows what's going on there? Sided across the board, but Demon One still landing it with the Blade Storm. Left up to Knees out. Damage definitely being done. Yeah, no pull, only the stun. Connects there. Ethan already getting half. Has to get off of it. Stunned up, and Knees out collects. There's your clutch.
And a brief glimpse of light towards the end of a very dark tunnel there. That was a serious amount of rounds in a row, 7 for EG before FPX could finally answer in rounds 11 and 12. Scrappy and messy in the rounds that they won. It would be such a journey uphill to be able to pull this back into a winnable situation.
Yeah, when you consider that FPX started on their favorable side, you know, the attack sides where they're getting so much value. And now staring at that, I mean...
Good way to end it, though, with the Red Bull clutch.
Yeah, certainly is. Maybe it's possible, maybe it's doable, but let's send it down to the desk, see what they have to say.
Thank you very much, Sideshow and Bren. EG, we talked about how maybe they weren't fully warmed up on map 1, but 9 rounds there, Mimi. That is more than enough.
It's really impressive out of EG. I think they're playing this new comp really well. I especially loved how they were re-clearing space in mains in the mid round. I think Ethan in particular, his util did a really good job to push for that one. And FPX initially really struggled. They were getting punished constantly by those re-clears, but it was these big clutch moments at the end, Baby Bay, to kind of salvage that half.
Yeah, which is surprising because they had like the first blood in so many of these rounds, and we're just like, we're up here and we're like, oh, they got a first blood, they're gonna lose again. It's like, it doesn't make sense, you know, that they're not able to convert these rounds, like, or some of these rounds at least, but really well played by EG, especially on that A site. Like, Jojimo just going completely bonkers in that pit area, just getting 4Ks on 4Ks on 4Ks, and yeah.
I could give you the exact stat, actually. They got 8 first bloods, only converted 3, and most of that was because, Mimi, they didn't get the first blood onto Demon One or Jojimo, and they were just there to clean up.
Yeah, these two guys were ridiculous in the late round for this team. Demon One in particular. I mean, we always talked about how he wasn't fully showing up the way he was in Americas at Tokyo, but the team still went into the finals there, and here it looks like Demon One is just so comfortable on the stage. Also, Jojimo, Astra player, dropping 400 ACS on Astra. That's pretty good, I think.
Yeah, he's a freak. I like you would have never like expected him to be doing this stuff if you were to like be like a year ago. It's just insane that he's like this good on controller.
Yeah, it's ridiculous what these guys are pulling off on stage. Now the question is really, again, for FPX, how does this work now that they change sides with this double controller composition? I think EG on Ascent did a good job on their attack of what limited we saw of it, of slowing things down and being able to pull out some of those smokes. FPX, I think their comp strength does come in those retakes, which I feel like they were never in position to do so. It has to start with the pistol round, though, if FPX wants a chance to come back.
I mean, they got 8 first bloods. If they get 8 first bloods again and convert those rounds, you do the math. But Bren and Sideshow, let's jump into the second half and see if they can indeed pull this back.
Let's find out. It's going to be 9-3. Giggling, aren't you? We'll find out, though.
I want to see what the pistol round looks like, to be honest with you. EG looking like they want to take very early control of B-Long.
And Drone's going to get that tag as well on the deep angle here. Yuko, they know his position's there. It looks like EG are opting in to try and fight this one.
Uh-oh.
Plenty of presence here, but Berlin's close to the corner, just spamming it out, anticipating that re-swing, and they have the util to clear them out of the positions, flushing them out.
Really good utility usage there from Com and from Ethan.
Bot coming back.
You can tell that EG have a great idea about what their protocols want to be.
And so much damage being done there. Demon One, how's he find that? I mean, wasting bullets in the moment for the disrespect. You're kidding me, man. I mean, you think he's going up against Fnatic in the final?
Someone in the crowd not happy about that as well.
Yeah, not surprised. Close though. Ayang, that flash is very good and almost enough with the reset to claim the other kill. And here's how he's been set up potentially for success. It's a 1v2. They don't know he's repositioned this one in this plan. Out in the open with enough damage done. Demon One will fall, and he's out. Left alone. Going down there to Jorgamo. Can he win this pistol round out? Not a tap, a full stick. Jorgamo going for that plant. Lands it.
Continuing the form that he had in the first half. Ridiculous play by Jorgamo. He takes that opening duel, knows that Nicho's going to expect a fake plant, and he just sticks it. And then swings out one taps with the Ghost.
Yeah. Sitting
Ridiculous.
at 21-7.
Yeah. 400 ACS first half. Looking like he wants to try and do the same here.
Spike down.
Really drilled way of approaching B, though. They recognized the resistance, avoided the defending utility, and then tore them apart with the Sovereign KO and 8.
At this point, just looking at really all the bits and pieces that EG have thrown together and prepped for their Pearl, because economy advantage is theirs. Should be the next few rounds going their way, unless we see some miracle moments out of FPX. You never know with the Sheriffs. But look at how diligent EG are. I mean, the smoke comes up. They're using util to clear out any sort of corners. Might be hiding in. A lot of presence being showcased. I like this by FPX, a reclearance into A main, but
it's very late in the round, though.
It's very late, yeah.
40 seconds into the round, and they're reclearing A main, despite the fact they've already heard at least 3 players down B long. They're going to be so far away from being able to help you, Coron Lysor.
Pearl is a big map.
They're on the opposite side.
You've got to get a jog on, honestly. Any chance of it. There's that flash again. Sails right through, sets him up with the updraft. Here's a shot, though. Fired off through U-Core, weaving in and out. Lysor not able to survive amidst all of this one, and the smokes, again, just setting it up for the one-way.
That A main reclear has turned into a double flank. So if there was anybody to save this round and save the map potentially for FPX, it'd be Berlin and Ayoung.
Maybe a timing to be taken here. Yeah, Jogamo, he was absolutely in the astral form. Dropped down to 50 health. Closer to the corner now with a reposition. Flash up close, fully blinded up. Have to try and get these kills. Ayoung, you just can't hit it with the classic. Players, there was damage done, but EG pretty much wrapped up this round now. It's looking at that 11th under the belt. Maybe a bit of that economic damage here is how, but yeah, his approach, I mean the positioning, noted and taken care of.
There were openings, there were certainly chances, but FPX couldn't capitalize, and the score sits at 11-3. I've never seen a comeback from this score before, so it'll be all wrapped up. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
No problems whatsoever.
Live manifestation of the egg curse. He's trying for it.
FPX are going to take a timeout here, but at the moment it looks like EG are very diligent in terms of at least the way that they're exploring towards B. What I'm looking for really here on the attack side is to see how deep it goes for Evil Geniuses. You know, do they have a lot of different ideas about approaching the A side of the map? Do they have different trap plays perhaps on, you know, catching somebody in the center of the map? There's definitely ways that you can pinch people that are playing in mid.
If you're EG, they might just start opting in to just keep hitting B, honestly. It's
Yeah.
been working for them.
Exactly, and in games like this, when you're up 11-3 and it's the very start of a tournament, first time that you've showcased a brand new composition, you want to try and keep as many cards close to your chest as possible, I think. You know, EG are going to be thinking about, yeah, I mean, of course we want to win, but we're 8 rounds up. If we can win by just hitting B repeatedly and never show what we've got across the rest of the map, that's the perfect situation for them.
So FPX's timeout. Looking for a chance back in, but at this point, honestly, strategy doesn't save you from this. You need to pull up the bootstraps. Adjustment with the mental. Shots need to be hit. Turning point needs to be found. Maybe they can do it.
It's going to be extraordinarily difficult. The defense side weaker for them on Pearl, but within China winning still about 55% of the time.
Yeah.
Not quite as poor as their Ascent defense, but a long, long way to go if they want to make this even competitive.
EG opening this up nice and slow to begin with. Definitely emphasis placed into mid. You can see a flash lineup. Ethan, that's going to go straight into double doors. Shock dart close, clears out, I believe, Every Lamba on a Nano Swarm. I saw trying to replace it right in his face. There it is, the paranoia. Beautiful work from FPX. That is very fast in terms of the response. They have crunched the mid approach almost instantly. And with that, the spike drop down, his comm left in an impossible scenario. The task ahead of him. Good luck.
Not a particularly winnable 1v4 with the spike down. I like the idea from EG, actually. It falls completely flat on its face. But usually you're going to see the defending player there back off instead of step into the fight. And that was the perfect response to deal with Demon 1. no thought of even checking spawn. Not even a thought in Young's head.
No! On the big stage.
You didn't need to do it to her. You didn't need to.
It gives him saving the weapon to just commit humiliation.
Oh, in a round that, I mean, Com had no chance of doing anything there other than embarrass Young a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay.
It's hyped up EG.
Its spirit's still high, obviously.
I don't know why EG have started beef with China.
Yeah, I
literally do not know why.
That just feels like you're never going to win that.
I agree.
You're just never going to win that. It's like going to war with just, I don't know, like physics. It's just, you know, it's cemented, man. No, here we go. Fight. Taken by EG, though. Plenty of bodies as well to clean that one up, so just a 1-for-1.
Oh, Lysor, he took 124 across the map.
Bloody hell.
Just dropped down to a single point of health, and that's going to waste the entirety of Young's heal, but at least he'll be brought back up to full. No shields, however. Won't survive another one of those. Speaking of which, Nisha on his own towards A. That's where the rest of EG are gathering up at 4v4.
Right here.
Oh, Spike. Perhaps not.
Second guessing themselves a little bit, yeah. I mean, just sending in the dart, got broken. Now running all the way back over towards B. There's still util waiting to be used here. Another star drop down, so Jorgen was going to be probably using this to recall and pass. Just to the side, yeah.
And you can see pings coming out here. I'm expecting Com to use his Hunter's Fury. You can see him setting up for it.
Yeah, it's going to clear all those corners as this push starts to come through. Now right into action, into the fray. Nana Swarms drop down on top of it. Hunter's Fury, good connection with the kill. But Ayang's still alive. Into the back section of Horse. The Seekers let rip as well just to buy a bit of time out in the open. Ethan does not get off that. And time now is really against them. Down to the final 11 seconds out into the open with the dog. Hot on the heels of Com. It sets up the easy fight here.
Great response from FPX there. Doubled up in backhauls, Young able to stay alive, and Berlin comes through with a paranoia onto the plant spot for him to swing. Well set up. Nice idea that EG failed to deal with, and they're now knocked down to an eco round. It felt certainly like Evil Geniuses were running away with this map, and we're gonna lock out the series very cleanly. But at this point, the scoreline looks set to close just a tad.
Team 1 gonna seek to open this one up. Yeah, that's a bit of a team flash, but a dart is good. At least a connection onto the two of them. The reposition dash just backwards. No kills there. Berlin, you don't expect that. Some benefits of the Omen in the comp. Just the high ground position perched up. Collecting 2. So, EG scrambling. Getting ourselves out of there here, but FPX, as long as there's no mistakes, should be another round for them.
It would have to be a monstrous round from Demon 1 to turn things in EG's direction.
Drone has to be used. They didn't have control out towards B main, just to clear it close in case someone like Ucore was pushed up deep, but they just see the jump spot now. Orb gained as well, looking to say, and waste no time. All the way through, Lysor can hear the footsteps, just taking the timing off of it, and that's a lovely crossfire setup. I mean, all the noise in the world was being made there by EG, so FPX, it's 11-6. That was against a half fight. Got to keep it going now up against the guns.
There's a big difference in terms of people's perception coming out of this match if it ended, you know, 13-5 as it could have done for EG, or even if EG win at the end of this and it's a very close game, it's going to alter the community perceptions a lot of whether or not EG were on a heat or a Tokyo, whether they've got that consistency. If they are the big favorites, people are expecting them to be in Group B.
They've got an operator in the hands of Ucore. Might be the difference maker. They're set up so when they run this, they tend to just stack everybody else onto the opposite side wherever he is. Into double doors now. See what Lysor can do. That flash, he's ahead of it actually. Doesn't blind him for too much longer. Revealed this recon absolutely lit up. Has to back away and respect that one, but here we go. There was an attempt by Jorgamo to try and take some space towards B, and he was punished. All that ground gained.
That's a massive loss too. Without the Astra, you don't have the pullback smokes to be able to cross B effectively. You can't really take space down B main and challenge Ucore, unless you just planted a wide swing, which would not be a good idea. I think that's going to free up FPX a lot. They know that this fight is going to be coming through either towards mid or A main. Nishao and Aeyang are about to take a fight.
Yeah, got back into position.
I'm
There's a
not
dart
sure they're
back
ready
online.
for this.
I mean, Aeyang's holding the flash. Off of whose contact, though? Maybe a form of utility. Nishao close to the corner, finds it. There's the flash. It's impeccable.
Perfect.
Damage is there.
One enemy remaining.
Absolutely perfect. EG were not ready for it.
30
Just
seconds
walked
left.
straight into the trap setup. Lovely idea from FPX. Taking that space and setting up the trap. All just based off Ucore having the control of B long.
Yeah, at this point you just got to save this rifle. FPX have done enough here. The legwork, the groundwork, all laid out. FPX 11-2-7. That was a flawless round. So now the economy's going to get built up. EG dropped down to weaker by once more. Josh, you said 11-3. Never seen a comeback from that before.
Never in my life.
And we'll still hold you to that.
This is a lovely little play, though. I'm impressed. FPX have really come out with some decent ideas. I think there's obviously still... There's obviously still some holes in their game, and they're struggling to keep up a little with what EG were throwing at them, especially in the first half. But there are glimpses of some nice ideas. It's about stringing those together consistently.
Star up and in their face. That's a tag onto Ucore, the one target they did want. The operator pushed back and away. Cosmic Divide as well. Ultimate's committed here by EG, despite the fact that they don't have the guns for it on top of the angle. Even a lockdown thrown into the mix. This feels very all-in by EG. This is almost every ult that they've got at their disposal here. You have to respect this if you're FPX. Backing away. We'll give the plan over.
But now you're playing a post-plant setup with only Sheriffs and a Marshal. There's been some damage done to Nishao, but for the rest of it, how does EG expect to win this situation?
It's bizarre. I mean, you're going to have to hit some shots here. Use all those ults to get into it, but essentially you've used everything at your disposal. Still pull onto it, but Demon One's cleared out towards back halls now.
I mean, the Cosmic Divide has
so
just
many
locked them
smokes
off.
in their face. Yeah, I mean, they can't do anything right now. They have to push past this one here. Right through into the corner. There's a shorty in their face, man. And Berlin can just stick this one all the way through. Your guys feeling it. Flash deep into the corner. Everybody blinded up. Not a chance. And this is, not gonna lie, Josh, a bit of a crumble. EG, that was such a heavy investment.
I really don't understand how they thought they were going to be able to win that in the post plan. I think perhaps there was some kind of idea there of dragging out ultimates from the other side, but I don't get it, to be honest with you, Bren. That's 5 rounds in a row now from FPX, and this one in particular, you can't be mad that they lost the round because they came in with only Sheriffs, but the ultimate investments have set them up very poorly now.
And it instantly triggers a timeout. Potter having a word with them.
Not happy with what she saw there.
Calm that down immediately.
Because also, the whole of EG set up for long post plants down B long, anticipating that they would be able to take Sheriff duels at distance against the rifles, perhaps. But the Cosmic Divide just completely shut that idea down. Maybe EG getting ahead of themselves here, just wanting to close the game out after the 9-3 half, thinking it would be simple, rushing things.
Definitely felt like that to me.
Yeah. Com is going to be one away from his Hunter's Fury though, Brent. So they still have one ultimate that's going to be useful for them. The issue with that is that usually, I think he would be worried about utilizing that. Lysor has lockdown on the other side. So do you want to use it early to generate a pick or get through to the site? Do you want to use it to stop a retake from happening? Usually I think EG tend to be proactive with them rather than reactive.
It's going to be an early clash. So it seems. FPX almost gathered up and set up. Looks like that util is going to be used with the intention of getting Ucore on the angle with the operator, but there's going to be a lot of players on the other side of things here. Look at Demon One, he's all the way over the top. It's a dart with the flash all combined up. Does Ucore realize he's crossed here? I mean, the angle now has closed it up, opens it up now again, once more to try and re-clear onto the corner. This is so damn dangerous. The dash is going to be fading away here, and with the drone in his face, got to respect this one. Meanwhile, in mid, what is occurring? Stuns and util. It's boundless right now. Nishao wants a piece of the action as well. Fully grouped up. There's a kill. Is that a response? Nathan cannot turn in time. Nishao bringing down Almost all of them here. It's a 3 versus 3. The lockdown's now being invested because the spike was heard dropped out into the open.
And look how FPX scatter to the far reaches. Nishan just completely on his own, looking to try and contest the outside. They're trying to force the fights instead of reinforce their position. This has devolved into a bizarre round. FPX had the spike down, had mid control, and now they have no idea where EG are. Not a clue.
I said earlier, Josh, I wanted to see a bit more silliness. I found it. At this point, this round is all over the place.
But just after FPX had won
It's
4
just
rounds in a
timing,
row,
isn't it?
it's all timing.
Jorgamo just walked up through, all the way down. He's distracted by the sound cue, but Jorgamo falls. 2 versus 2. They know where Lysor is. Do they choose to go into him? Anything to clear this? Oh, it's not quite. And the trade, well, it's on time. But Demon 1 versus Ayang. Time definitely against him. We'll be able to get that plant down, though. The position is not there to try and deny. So an extension of it into the round here. Updraft, up top. And Demon 1 is eager for it. Trying to take the jaw, but fully blinded up, narrowly avoiding. 70 health to his name. A slight tap, but Demon 1's too good. It's 12-8. Took a lot to get them there. I wouldn't be celebrating like that, mate.
These rounds are looking messy. I mean, that one in particular was all over the place. Definite opportunities for either team to win it. Lysor did a great job there at finding the timing. And I thought Ayang had done enough. With a little pop flash around the corner, he read the updraft perfectly. He knew exactly where Demon 1 was positioned, but he just couldn't quite land the shot. Can EG close this out, or are things going to get even more dangerous?
A few chances to do so, but maybe that was the hurdle they were waiting for. Just need one more round. Same util that's being used here. The drone into a main, a bit of a flash clearance. Hunter's Fury, that's a huge tag. Damage definitely being done, and there's the impetus. The push attempt, EG to putting the squeeze entirely on the bullet. He's got the timing. He's into a main as well. They don't have a clue. Inside, the smoke patience is shown for just a moment. Here's the orb. Comb returns fire. And the trade online, EG with a massive player advantage now, and this should be the finisher.
Lysor and Ucore got it all to do in the 2v4. 2 players stuck at default.
Spotting
Can they
out
make anything of that?
through into main. Ucore missing his shot. They'd have to just cleave down multiple of them and find these openings. However they can. Demon 1's repositioned, and yeah, facing it all together. 13-8.